Fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you!
The movies, the internet stuff is so violent. It's so incredible.
I seem worried about it just because the consumption of these violent video games has been going up continuously since the early 90s, and yet youth violence has been going down.
If you look at juvenile crime statistics, which have gone down dramatically over the past 15 years, it really doesn't seem to bear what the American PD.
You can pick up guns, knives. You can now choose to punch, kick, headbutt people, stab them.
And good evening, everybody. What is going on? It is Thursday night, May 7th. What's going on out there? We are live on YouTube.com/Arrow Entertainment. We now have our own URL. Also live on Mixer.com/Arrow with the name. And I can't speak tonight. Twitch.tv/Arrow with the name. Here with my co-host, Mike. What's going on, man?
Hanging in there, everybody. I hope y'all are enjoying your weekend up ahead and also enjoying your week so far. Thank you for all the ones out there.
Yep. Also got a guest today. The very lovely Melody is right by my side. So
with the beer and pizza.
Yep. Beer and Netflix.
So today's topic.
Yeah, kick it off, man, while I tweet this out. I'm going to tweet it out. Go ahead and give us a topic.
So today's topic, everybody has been worrying about, well, what happened with the 1200? Is there going to be more is the question. And here's your answer. Yes, there will be another stimulus. They are right now in the process of debating it. This is about the stimulus package 2. Now, when I'm talking about this, I've been getting a lot of sources from YouTube. I've been doing a lot of research about it. 3 different sources, and they all have evened up the same thing. They said the same thing. And right now, the House of Democrats are pushing the issue to get more money for the people, which is, you kind of figure, kind of odd because Nancy Pelosi's behind this, oddly enough.
Yeah.
And also, Mitch McConnell, part of the Republicans are in this too. They're actually saying, hey, look, we give you this, you give us that, which is pretty much why we have this big old conflict with Republicans and Democrats, because they all can't agree on something. But when it comes to this, when money talks, bullshit walks. There's that old saying.
Yeah.
Yes. So by Tuesday's the latest, they are going to be doing the vote in the House, in which this guy get past the Senate. You know, the Senate's going to be wanting to throw some things in now. Like, hey, we want protection for the small businesses. We don't want them to get sued. They don't want to get sued and all that because the employees are being unemployed. Which right now, people, don't complain about your jobs. There's about 40 million Americans right now unemployed.
Oh, it got that far.
Yeah, it's higher than that. Yeah, it's gotten about 40 million right now. It's about 30. But by the time of the stimulus running money right now, people are running out of money again within 14 days. 14 days, Mike. With that, when they got the stimulus check, some people still haven't gotten theirs. And they say that could take up to around maybe August.
Yeah, that's for the mailed-in checks.
The mailed-in checks and SSDI and SSI. There are still people that have not received it yet. And again, it's being delayed. It's delayed again, I guess, because of the system of the IRS and all that. Because the IRS, normally when they do the first one, it's usually a big cluster.
Yeah.
It usually normally is.
Yeah, because what was this past one? This past one was what, 2.8?
This one was a $2.8 trillion, 2.3 or 2.2 trillion dollar bill.
I thought it was 2.8.
I thought it was 2.2, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Now the next one, stimulus package, the People's Protection Act 2, is going to be more.
Oh wow.
More. They're thinking. Here's the details I've gathered around. Because people love details. $2,000 per month. Now, $2,000 per month. That's for everybody that qualifies over the age of 17. Well, no, I've been hearing 16, and one person said 17. So anybody that it's the same thing as the first stimulus check, but it's $2,000 per person over the certain age limit that qualifies. And then $500 per child again. So you figure Okay, the $2,000 per month. Okay, let's say they do it for 6 months, Mike.
Okay.
That's $12,000 within 6 months. Just that just covers the people who qualify. And the funny thing about this, more people are going to qualify the second time if they pass this part of the bill. Now they do want a second stimulus because they know the first one wasn't big enough. Because you got people places like New York, you got Miami, you got pretty much Chicago and California and all that. And rent up there is about what? You figure $1,200-$1,400 a month, take or give.
Yeah, that would eat the whole check and then some.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
there was a lot of people who thought that this first stim check was going to cover like 2 checks, like a check for April and a check for May, and I told people, no, it's just to cover everybody for 1 month, and then now with everything being carried out, yeah.
And here's the part that's catching everybody off guard. New York has less deaths than the rest of the 49 other states. There is no curve going on at the moment. Except if you add New York, the curve is going down.
I was going to say, because people are saying that New York had like the most.
No. Take out New York, and there's actually a study chart on the CDC page. I didn't check it out, but I'm watching this Meet the Kevin guy. I saw another guy. Let me tell you exactly who it was. I saw him earlier. Not that guy. It was a guy I was just talking. It's this guy. It's Morse Invest. He's actually used to work with Fox News. And he was talking about the stimulus check, $2,000 a month, and then he was talking about how, if you look on the page, and guess what? I hate to say it, but Minnesota is one of the highest. Is one of the highest rated areas, along with Nebraska. It's not Maryland. Now, there is states that are covered in brown, but the darker browns are the ones that are high, and Minnesota and Nebraska are the 2 high ones.
Huh.
I mean, all know who lives in Minnesota.
Right.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about.
If you're talking about that woman governor, she's in Michigan.
No, it's the other one. His name starts with the letter C. And it's almost like Chipotle.
I don't know.
Mr. Speculation Sports.
Oh, I wonder if that motherfucker's going live.
I don't know, but yeah, up in Nebraska and Minnesota, the 2 highest states right now. You would figure it'd be California and New York, but
the
it's not.
lowest number of deaths, according to the CDC chart, Wyoming has 7 cases of deaths. They are the lowest right now.
Yep.
New York. Let's see. New York has 25,779 deaths.
Mm-hmm. Just alone, New York. Just alone. Just New York alone does. But everywhere else, it's starting to increase. There is no curve. They're telling you bullshit. There is no curve.
See, that's what I've been trying to tell people, even at work for the last, 2-3 weeks. I was like, don't believe what the news says. Like, even, and I promote him on here a good amount. Jeff Hagee, he's even said, why don't we just open the country up as much as we can to keep the economy going, and just let things run their course. People are going to get sick. See, people die every year from what? Cancer, crime, flu, pneumonia. People die every year, so we're used to death. So there's nothing too major about this fucking candy ass virus, And it's just
it's about the thing about it, and it's the truth. If you've not noticed the governors on TV that are mostly they're not Republican.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And the thing about it with the stimulus package, they want to make sure that it's not covering the Republicans. Republicans will pretty much pass anything to help the people.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. So that the stimulus is a go. Now they want to make sure the stimulus gets to the people and not pay the states that are right now in bankruptcy. That's the issue. Now, the thing about the stimulus thing, okay, it's funny because it's going to be a whole lot of. They said, oh, we could get a small piece, but Trump wants certain things, wants tax cuts, which is actually good because I'll save some workers money. And we are the people. We are the 70% of the economy. No money comes out, no money goes in, and guess what? Stock market crashing. Guess what's in crisis right now?
Stock market.
If you're looking at housing market.
Oh, that too.
Nice. No, it's just the interest rates have now begun to go below zero.
Oh wow.
They're in the negative right now with interest.
Damn.
So, and guy I was just talking about, Meet Kevin, just did a thing about 2 hours ago about it. And but yeah, the housing market is about to crash, which means the housing market's in danger, which means you can get a house for a pretty fucking good price right now. If that happens. I mean, think about it. Banks are hurting. How do you think they're going to make money? Foreclosures. People can't pay their mortgages. It's going to go to foreclosures. People are going to be homeless. And that's all because, you know why? Because we have a closed economy and because the governors are so freaking being hard-headed about shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I can understand. People are going to get sick. I'm not saying that this is not a big serious deal. It is a big deal. But people need money to survive. Your unemployment, some people have yet to get their unemployment. So right now, they're counting all the little pennies from that $1,200 check, and that $1,200 doesn't go very far.
It doesn't.
And that $1,200, some people within 14 days already spent all their stimulus money.
Yeah.
So think about that for a second. You talk about 80 million Americans. I think it's 80 million Americans that qualified for the first one. But the second one, a lot more is supposed to be more qualified. They're thinking about 225 million Americans in the next. So, but like I said, though, we the people need to contact their government officials and say, hey, look, man, pass that stimulus bill to $2,000 a month. Now, the theory I was thinking of, okay, let's do the stimulus package. Mike, say that you're a Republican and all this. I'm just because I know you're not a big political guy, and I'm Democrat. We say, hey, look, let's go 3 months of $2,000. Okay. That's what, $6,000 for the first 3 months. That will cover June, July, August, and then the other months into 2021, give $1,000 a month.
Yep.
And then $1,000 every other month. Now, if you do it that way, I'm thinking you'll save some money. But they want to push this into possibly 6 months, which is $12,000 for 6 months. Now, either way, it's still a lot of money, but it will get the economy going back where it was. Which, like Mike, I told you when we first talked about the COVID.
Yeah.
When we talked about it the first time, we needed a second stimulus to get our shit back to normal and open businesses. So, but I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Let's hear from you.
Well,
yours and my thought.
One thing I can say is, okay, I described the situation with a couple coworkers of mine the other morning, and I was telling them what Haggis told me. Well, what Haggy said, and one girl's like, "I'd rather live." I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. Let's say we keep this crisis going on even further, and the economy is continuously shut down. There's no jobs. More people are unemployment. Money is going to run out eventually. We think that we have enough money to last us for the next couple years. We don't know that. Like, even the post office is fearing of going under now. So money's going out. Businesses have done poorly. What's going to happen 6 months down the road when they decide, okay, the virus has subsided and you got to open a lot of these businesses up? People are not going to have any money to go out and shop or spend at any of these businesses. So they're going to suffer. Like, look at a lot of these restaurants. I mean, I'm pretty sure all the food's been cleared out. You know, they don't have any food in stock or whatever. But where are they going to have the money for food? Where are they going to have the money for the items that they need for their businesses? You know, we need to pump money into the economy somehow. But if we can't do that, like you said, you know, if there's no money pumped into the economy, we basically need the economy to survive. We need money to survive. Like, I understand people are like, I want to live, you know, I don't want to die from this virus. Hey, what's up? And I can't pronounce your name over there on YouTube, but what's up, man? I forgot.
No one doesn't want to die, though. I mean, no one doesn't want to die because
people fear death. People are afraid to die. Now, what they don't understand is the other thing. If you got a government that's taking control of how you live your life, when they
which
say
is happening right now,
pretty much. You know, they tell you when you can go out, what you can do, and this and that. You know, you got a government that's controlling you. We're puppets on a string. We're sheep. You know, we're herded sheep. We're being led as sheep. People die every day. Yeah, Tim. So, without a running economy, you know, to keep it pumping, we're not going to survive 5 years at least. I mean, we could try. I mean, we're going to revert back to
not even 5 years, less than that technically, because
unless we revert back to caveman days.
Wall Street and the politicians cover at least 25% of the economy. 25%.
Yeah,
we cover the other 75.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about it for a moment. 25% economy, that's not good. I mean, but here's the thing, though. Okay, Trump, I'm giving Trump hats off right now. I mean, yes, he's under a lot. I mean, we're talking big time pressure. We're not talking about the economy, okay.
Well, you know, like the last few years, they kept saying, Obama was under a lot of stress. It needs 2 terms to do this and that. He ain't done shit. He ain't done diddly dick in 2 terms. And he left a broken economy for fucking Trump to clean up. And now Trump is doing everything he can in his power to clean it up. And people are like, we're not happy. He's not doing his job. Like, well, he's doing a hell of a lot more than what Obama did because Obama put this fucking country the way it is.
Well, I'm saying right now, Trump did get the economy back up. It was about, 30,000, 35,000 at one point. Now it's down to 24, 5,000.
And everybody wanted to call Trump a racist for shit. I'm like, hey, look how many African Americans support Trump. I mean, he brought the unemployment level down.
It's quite a few, but right now, but the thing about it, people blame everybody. Oh, well, Trump didn't keep his word. No, we have a pandemic. This is something totally new. Mm-hmm. Totally new in our generation, especially mine and your generation. We never had this.
Oh.
And from what I understood, the rate of unemployment has doubled since the Depression.
Yeah.
And in England, there hasn't been this bad of a crisis since 1700s, 300 years ago. This is worse than the fucking World War I and World War II in Vietnam combined. Mm-hmm. So imagine. But Spain, Portugal, a couple European countries are getting back to normal. They're starting to go back to work. But Brexit kind of hurt them, New England a little bit, the UK and all that hurt them a little bit from what I understood. But there's a lot of stuff going over there in the UK that I have not heard from. But
Spain's son, he lives over in the UK. And I hear it and everybody's on lockdown over there in the UK, like... Right now, it's very strict. You're only supposed to be with your family and all. That's how severe it is.
But it's pretty bad over there. I mean, they haven't had this kind of thing ever since the 1700s, and we're talking around Revolutionary War times, just about.
Actually, another thing, my coworker the other morning, he told me he has a buddy who lives in the over there in Africa, I think Nigeria or something. And he told him it's basically like martial law over there. Basically, nobody's allowed to drive anywhere, and nobody's allowed out of their house. They have stores that are open for essentials, but they're only open like 2 days a week, certain times,
Yep.
and that's when everybody's allowed to go out and get their essentials. But then they have to be right at home. Even said if you're seen driving your car out there on the streets, they'll pull you over and they'll impound your car. That's how strict they are over there in Africa. Like I don't know if it's all of Africa or just certain countries.
I
or
might be
whatever.
certain countries that are really
Yeah.
infected really bad.
But they got their own kind of martial law over there. But that's what I try to tell people. Imagine us being there within the next few months, and that's what I warn people. This is where our government's taking us. You got the media that's brainwashing you with all this propaganda bullshit. People are believing it, and now there are some governors that are actually manning up, growing a brain, and saying, look, we'll do this 3-phase plan. We'll start opening up certain places, and once the curve is flattened and there's no more deaths or whatever, we'll go on to the next phase. And then you got people that are like, oh, you're opening up too fast. We shouldn't even open up. Like, well, you've been fucking brainwashed by a bunch of Democratic motherfuckers on CNN.
Well, it's not just Democrats. I mean, there's some Republican.
Yeah, they got their hands in a cookie jar.
It's the governors.
Well, yeah,
the president said it has nothing to do with the federal government. This is all government.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, politicians in general, like, with them, yeah. Yeah, Ocean
it's
City's
a political
too.
thing. It's a power. I think if I'm thinking what Trump's thinking, this is actually brilliant in Trump's way to get the seats changed. If you think what I'm thinking, Mike, think about it. Power, greed. Who are you going to expose? The governors, the ones that control the seats, and say, "Hey, look, we got power now. We could do all this good stuff." And elections coming up.
That's true.
If the governors were freaking thinking like Florida and the rest of the other places, like, oh, well, we know elections is coming up. We're going to treat our people good. There you go. You're going to save your seat. You're going to reopen things slowly. Now, there is 3 phases to the epidemic thing. But there is a thing of, of the other part, which is we're getting to phase 3 and 4 of the packaging deal. So that's what I'm saying. Certain things have certain stages, like the reopening stages. That has 3 different phases. The stimulus package stuff and all the other stuff is 4 stages, which we're getting to stage 3 and 4. It's the negotiation tables to get more stimulus to help the people and get the economy growing. That's that. And then we're going to worry about China, which China's right now under fucking deadlock grid with Trump and I forgot the other guy that's Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo.
Okay.
China's under the gun right now. Let's just say that. And it's going pretty bad.
Hey, you can come into Discord if you want, Tim. It's open. Well, let's see. You talking about governors? Like, okay, 2 governors that come in mind that, in my opinion, you all can hate me for this. I don't care. They need to be put under the gun. There was even something that was shared on Facebook. I think it was by Lycan or somebody. No, it wasn't Lycan. It was this guy I met. It wasn't Lycan. It was a guy that I met a while back at work. And there was an article stating where somebody was like, we should bring back corporal punishment or something like that for politicians, for the government, like the local hangings and shit. And I was like, yeah, Pelosi should be first. And he was like, nope, the Clintons first. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
But here's another thing, though. If you honestly think about it, if I was a governor and I knew the election was coming up, I'd play it smart. I wouldn't be like, oh, I got power, I can do whatever I want. Yep. I wouldn't do that. That's unwise. Now, there is the nail salons in certain states have certain different laws and different stages and all that. And some people are getting fined. Yep. $5,000, $7,000 locked up for 90 days. Some governors actually stepped up. The ones who they reached out to, some of the governors have reached out and paid those fines because they think that, that's wrong. You shouldn't have to go to jail because you want to open your business and you got kids to feed on the table. Come on.
Some of the ones here are only doing healthcare.
Oh,
And you
okay.
have to
And
have
now-
a badge.
That's right.
Now, Melanie, you're a healthcare worker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you were supposed to go to New York, guess what? You got to pay New York taxes.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh, I know.
If you go up there to help the New Yorkers right now, and if you're in the healthcare system, they say, "Hey, we need you to go to New York," you have to pay that state tax. No ifs, ands, or buts.
And
That's
not
if you
going
get
to New
sent.
York.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's what the governor of New York said. You come up here, you work in our state, you're paying our taxes.
That must be what I was reading earlier with Mark Levin on Facebook. He's another douchebag that, just like along with the governor
Yep.
from
That guy's
Michigan.
crooked as fuck too.
He is. Kumo says it's shocking. Most new coronavirus hospitalizations are people who have been staying at home. And Mark Levin quoted "Idiot Kumo," and then the next thing he posted, he said, "Idiot Kumo again. Kumo gives people another reason to hate New York. He'll tax coronavirus volunteers."
Yep. They don't give a fuck. They want that state money because you know why? Because Kentucky's one of them. And I heard something about states fighting over who's getting paid, who ain't getting paid. You know, stuff like that. Who's getting federal relief funds and stuff like that bullshit.
Tim's like, tell the truth, I'm getting tired of hearing about the check. Even got me thinking because I had what, Tim?
Hey, Tim, it's nobody's fault. It's the IRS. They have been delayed again. This is what happens in the first time the $600 went through with everybody. It happened the same fucking way.
Hop on in, Tim. I know you're in the Discord.
Well, he don't want to hear it because he'll be unmuted for a
No,
while.
it's okay. They can send me the check all they want. I get $500.
Yeah, Tim, you don't want that check that damn bad. We'll take your $2,000 a month. That's fine. You don't get a damn thing, man.
Oh shit! Buy me a new camera for the Through the Doorway show.
No, there you go, Tom.
Speaking of Tom,
Shoot, Tom.
Tom,
Yeah.
where the fuck are you at? Did you forget it was a podcast again?
I told him there will be one Thursday.
I'm only getting 1,200. Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Yeah,
get
you're only
12
getting 1,200. This is the first one's 1,200. The next one is 2,000.
Yeah, you got a
month.
girl. Yeah, you only get an extra 500 per kid that you have, and it's up to I think 4 kids.
You know, okay. Here's the thing, though, Mike. Couples on this next one per month will be $4,000 per month. Plus, on top of that, 500 per kid. Maybe 1,000. I'm not
I
sure
know.
if they upped it or not. So, Mike, you want to get married this year before that second stimulus break? Gets there?
She just gave me a hint.
And that's per person, 2,000 per person on top of that. So, yeah, Mike, I told you, man, you should have waited on getting that car fixed.
Well, if I didn't get the car fixed, I wouldn't have a car to take us to wherever we wherever we need to go.
Yeah, you're going to West Virginia. That's the next stop.
Yeah,
That's the next place.
Okay.
we're gonna burn down Hubbard's house.
Oh shit! Don't be saying that on stream. You could be listening.
Who cares?
But,
What's he gonna do? Report it on
no.
Facebook?
But think about it, man. Married couples get $4,000 in the next round per month.
Okay.
Married
What are you
people.
doing in there? Yeah, I'm checking them.
Yeah, listen
Kids
up,
are-
Mike. She be looking for that big old bling bling next now. You get $2,000, honey? Yeah. Let's go.
You jumping
Let's
in?
go to
Okay,
K
Tim said
Jewelers.
he's jumping in.
Let's go to K Jewelers, Mike.
So
Come on,
here's
man.
another thing that Mark Levin posted earlier, 21 hours ago. This was talking about CBS stage news. There's the Tim. Here's another thing that and I hear the stream playing.
Yep, yep.
All right, you good,
But the
Tim?
thing,
Oh, I'm good,
There he is.
but I might be getting that money, but I filled that shit out all the way back in April, and I haven't got any of it yet. while I'm keep hearing everybody else is getting theirs, where the hell is mine?
It's delayed, dude. There's still
Yeah, I
delays.
know.
This is
I
what
called the
happens in the
IRS
first
the
round.
other day,
Hmm.
and they said
When you
all our
file your
operators
taxes,
are under. They said all our operators are currently going through high maintenance volume.
Yeah, that's because they got to fix their system. The first round of Americans and all that, there's a lot of people, Tim. A ton of fucking people.
And apparently, the Get My Payment thing is being overloaded too, or they got glitches in it.
yes, it is.
Yeah, they do. Their computer, the first round of stimulus, all that, like this $1,200, it was a big clusterfuck. So you know you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, because when they first did it, they said, "Oh, we're going to send out so much money, but we're only going to do it like what,
So
8
many
million or
Americans
80 million a day." You can't do that because it'll overload the systems.
Mm-hmm. So here's what they should have done. And Mike, you could probably agree, disagree with me on this.
Okay.
They should have taken care of the disabled first. The first 80 million disabled guy. With people that are SSI, SSDI, etc.
That depends on how much longer they have to live.
And then take care of the taxpayers is how I think they should have done it. And then send out the paper checks to everybody else that had to be doing that one. Because that should have been the first call. Because when you first, Mike, say you got yours first, I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Why the fuck
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay.
Yep. I got mine. Mel got hers.
And
Joe
I
got
filled
his.
mine because they say fill out the thing on the IRS website, right?
Okay.
Right.
The check file thingy, non-filter, whatever you call it, whatever the fuck you want to call it, paper thing. Okay, Mike did it. Everybody else did it. Mike got his. I filled mine out on April 14th. Got a clarification from the customer email thing from the IRS website saying, "Congratulations, you have been accepted."
Now,
and it said, if you want to check your thing, go to this link. I went there, and when I went there, filled out the SS number, the birthday, the address shit, 2 times. The address I'm at now and my old address with the same social security number. And guess what I got? Payment status not available.
Well, like I said, there's a glitch in their system.
Yeah, because Bain
he filed, because of so many people.
Yeah, because Bain filed for it too, and there's nothing in the system for his right now either.
Hey, Mike, when did you file yours?
See, that's the thing. I didn't have to file
because his went through because he paid his taxes before April 15th.
I paid my taxes back in late January, early February. As soon as I got I get my taxes electronically. Did you do yours electronically, or did you file by paper?
I go through TurboTax.
Okay. Did you file your taxes yet?
That could be
I couldn't file my 2019. I did the other thing they said. Use the 2018.
Did you file your taxes in 2018 for it?
Yeah, it was still on file.
But see, everybody, this one won't matter. The 1,200 won't matter of how much taxes you owe because it's just a free check. This is non-taxable shit that's going on. It's not going to do nothing with the IRS how much you tax.
Here's another thing. I filed my taxes through TurboTax also, and I got my check.
Yeah, but Mike, you did yours before anything else.
Yeah.
But also, actually, that whole tax thing might be a actual hoax because I heard that you might actually have to pay some of it back at the end of the year.
Nope.
That's what I heard too.
It's been debunked. No, that is not true. It is on the IRS website. Take a look at it.
I have.
A big bold print. Will not be taxed on this.
Huh. I might have to check that
Even though that says it now, watch them next year.
No. Nope.
They can't just contradict themselves.
Stuff like this, Mike, is not taxable. None of it's taxable.
Now, if by any chance a Democrat gets in office in November, then you never know what them crooked motherfuckers are capable of.
All they'll do is raise taxes. That's all they could do. They cannot say, "Oh, that stimulus money y'all took, y'all got to pay back," because you know what? That makes them look bad.
Yep, exactly. And I mentioned it too,
So,
that
I mean-
somehow this is going to have to bite us in the ass somehow. Like, we're either going to end up owing at tax time some way, or they'll just like take out what our refunds get back.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's pretty much if Trump gets in office again, you're going to see the stock market rise right back to normal. It's going to go back to normal eventually. Because think about it. As long as this pandemic goes, yes, there's going to be an election. Joe Biden's got no chance. So what else is going on, okay? So how in the world do you control a government, okay? How do you get the people to go out there and vote?
Online.
Well, you could always they're still going to have the election. Trump's already said we are not delaying the election.
I just told you how they might do it online.
Nope. The ballot stations will be open. There'll probably be a lot of separation. They'll let a certain amount of people
Yeah,
in
that
at a time.
sounds about true, because right now with a lot of states starting to open up and still keeping the guidelines of 6 feet apart from each other and all, yeah, that is possible.
They'll do something, but
And like I
they'll still be-
said, I don't mean to cut you off there, Mike.
Go ahead.
But like I was typing on the Twitch, OC's already planning to open up.
Well, definitely.
But the only loophole of that is you have to be a resident of Ocean City.
Yeah, it's only for locals right now. Now, Maryland is opening up like some outdoor activities like fishing, camping, some state parks, and
Yeah, I
a few other
heard that.
things.
And that's because think about it. People are going insane. How do you keep the people
Oh,
calm
yeah.
without them alive?
Look at all the protests we
gotta-
had so far.
Yeah, especially
it's
in
everywhere.
Annapolis.
It's not just in one state. It's every fucking.
Exactly.
And the other reason why people are going insane is, well, besides not getting out of their houses, half of us are going insane because we want to go back to work.
Yep.
Well, here's the problem, Tim. Here's the problem with that. Okay, you got about almost 40 million Americans unemployed right now. Small
Oh, yeah, I
businesses
know.
ain't getting their bailout, which means the elimination of small businesses leads to the big corporate business, which is that again 25% economy.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, there's going to be a bailout for small businesses, but not all businesses are going to be able to reopen. That's the problem. And the only way to get the economy back up and everything is, hey, the people, the 75% need money. People are running out of money. What do? You got to help the people, which is that 75%, which is us. We have got to have more money to keep alive, to survive. Because if we don't, guess what? The economy collapses and shenanigans break out. And that's the last thing that the Democrats
Then you're going to have,
have.
followed by what you just said, Mike, we're going to have riots. We're going to have, let me put it in layman's terms, all chaos is going to break loose.
It is.
Oh, yeah, it's yeah.
I'll be back in a minute.
But here's the thing, though.
No, I was actually agreeing to what you said.
All my sources are not internet-based. They're only YouTube-based, which means I took a little bit of piece from every person I watched over the whole week. They say that, like, there's got to be a second stim. Every single person I've saw and watched their podcast has said, we need more stimulus, more stimulus, more stimulus. But the thing about it is the big corporations are robbing the small businesses because, hey, look, they're bailing out the small business. We're just going to, we got more product. We can always overtake them. That's how the economy works sometimes.
My thing is, okay, we're getting all these stimulus checks coming out one after another.
No, it's not going to be like that. This is going to be one huge bill, which is probably going to be about 800 pages. Okay, 800 pages.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but
this is going to be a bigger bailout, which will stick for the next 6 months until they get this thing controlled, which will help everybody. Which means after the 6 months, that And
Okay.
it can also go through 2021.
Okay, I
Which means
get
until
that.
they get the cure, find the cure, and stop this virus, there will be stimulus checks of $2,000 a month until it is done. All stages are
Okay.
complete. But
Okay,
hold
I
on,
get
Tim,
all
don't cut me
that.
off yet. Don't cut me off yet. Now, for those who are unemployed that are listening to the stream, I did hear they are trying to extend the deadline because the deadline's May 12th or May 15th, around that time.
Yeah.
To for the unemployment for the 13 weeks. They said they are
Yeah,
going
it's
to try to
26
extend
days.
that to at least December 31st. They're trying to extend that so people don't run from unemployment does not running out of money, which is that $600 on top of that $300 if you qualify. So
I would
they're
only
trying
get
to do that for
300.
those who are unemployed. Huh?
I would only get 300.
No, you wouldn't. You'd get 600 if you.
I got a
if you're-
paper in the mail saying I would only get 383 a week.
What?
Yes, but on
Yeah.
top of the 600 too, but the government is adding an extra 600 on top of that. So you're getting 993 or 9 something.
I got a paper in the mail from unemployment stating if I would have got accepted for unemployment, if my whole thing with my old job didn't happen, I would only get 383 a week.
Okay.
It
But
didn't
Tim,
say anything on
also-
there on top of the money that they're adding. They just
That's
said
because
payment
they
383.
passed it. They passed it. Well, okay, we tell them this, okay? You call whoever you got to call for your unemployment. It's like, look, where's the extra 600 that I am also supposed to get along with the People's Protection Act?
Yeah, true. But like I was trying to say, and I wasn't trying to interrupt you the whole time, where is all this money coming from?
It's coming from the treasury. It's
But I
there's a
thought the
thing, okay?
treasury
You know how
was
people-
empty.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, so
there's a
they've
thing
been
too,
lying to
Albert.
us all these years.
No, it's right. He's right, but wrong at the same time. You're 50-50 on that. Okay, there is a thing which the top analyzes, economy analyzes, whatever the hell it's called, that is right by the president. That prints the money out. Pretty much the top guy that says, "Hey, look how much we can spend." Okay, that guy tells Trump, "Hey, we have the money. Let's do this." Yes, there will be a recession. There will be a recession down the road. It may take 5-7 years, but it will all catch up to us. But we will still be making money down the road because think about it. You pay the people money, people go out and spend the money. Either way, the government is still getting their money back. So
Okay, I get that, but I heard I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know which one said it, but
probably
they said we don't have no more money in
that's
the
because
U.S.
that's because they're in a panic of another recession like the Great Depression. That's what they're afraid of.
But that happened like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, they're going to say that because they don't want a lot of spending, and that's because they try to impeach Trump. But that was before the pandemic. Now we have a pandemic, and guess what? Here's your
bring that
debit
money
card,
out.
Mr. President. Use what you got to do. I mean, think about it.
So
Think about one minute.
when this second wave comes out, do we got to go back online and fill out the thing?
I don't.
Yes,
Oh, you do.
I think you still do, in case you don't qualify.
Stim check.
But if not, if you already qualified for unemployment, then I think you might be fine. But
No, I'm not talking about the unemployment. I'm talking about the stimulus checks. Do we got to go back on the IRS and refill out?
Tim, it wouldn't hurt to go on there and try it again.
I don't
to be
think.
honest with you.
Yeah, Melly said I don't think you have to do that because if you already filed your taxes and all, you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt to look it up and check. But I mean, but the whole thing about this, there, Tim, it hasn't passed yet. It's already going through the House. Next is through the Senate, and they say it could take up to Tuesday to get the final answer. Which
they better hurry up.
Right now, the Republicans are being hush-hush because they know that the people need it.
Well, let's see.
So the Democrats in the House are actually in agreement with a lot of things right now because of this.
But they better hurry up. with this second wave of stimulus checks because
That's
the
what
way
they're
it's
trying to do,
looking.
Tim.
All right, so
That's what they're
this
No,
trying
I
to
is,
get what you're saying. I'm just saying they better hurry up because the way it looks, people are running out of money fast.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll get the
Well,
checks
yeah,
and go,
people
"Oh,
within the
money,
first 14
gotcha."
days are already running out
You
of
only
money.
have so many McDonald's.
Well, it's not even
Well,
that.
that came out of nowhere.
Well, it's not even that though. I mean, people, there's meat plants. Soon they're going to be controlling what you can eat because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
The crime plants have already hit the meat market.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Purdue already
Yep.
killed all their
chicken
off.
plants. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, chicken plants are already. Like I think one of the Purdue plants, they said I think somebody got the virus in one of the plants and they had to close that down.
150 people, I think, have gotten
Oh,
affected.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killed all.
So go ahead, guys. I gotta be right back.
All right, go ahead. But yeah, like I said, though, man, we all need this the second time around. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, but like I was saying earlier, everyone's still waiting for the first wave.
Either
And
way,
the
you're
way
still
it's-
going to get your first check.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
first
I
check
get
is-
all
yeah.
I get all that. But my thing is, and I still don't get. I get everything you guys are saying, and trust me, I get everything you're saying. But how are they sending the money out? Are they sending it by the Social Security numbers, or are they doing last name?
I don't even know how they're doing that right now. I thought it was like
What's
by
that?
state or by how the checks are being sent out.
Same way they're going to be doing like this one. It'll be more organized by the second time around.
Oh, good. So I should get mine the first wave, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that
I mean,
still
think
don't
about it.
answer.
The first
Are they
time-
doing it by the Social Security numbers?
Well, they'll have your social security number now. But I'm just saying, the first round usually is a big kabloo mess. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
usually happens because everybody's got to go online, fill out documentation and all this other BS. And that's when the second one will be more organized than the first. And it usually happens that way. Damn it, I guess it.
I'm here. We're all here.
Okay. Yeah, that's what happens with the first one, Tim. It's usually a big clusterfuck in the beginning, then it comes out more stable in the second one.
Because like myself and Mike, we all had plans for that money. Well, everyone has plans for that money.
Yeah,
Well,
mine
everybody
went
has
to my
plans.
car.
Mine, once I get it, half of that's gone already.
Exactly. Like I know people's already
Good.
either. Well, I know with Mel, she put hers in a savings account, so that's
Which
gonna
is
go.
pretty smart, actually.
It is.
Oh yeah.
And they're also saying, hey, just because the stock market's down and shit doesn't mean the stock market's pretty important too, because you can make money that way also
Yeah, if you know what you're
down the
doing.
road. And with some of the markets that are building, like Johnson & Johnson and all that shit, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff.
Hmm.
But
like me,
yeah, that's
like I
the
said,
thing is, a lot of this next package is going to be huge for what they're saying, which is more than a 2.2 trillion.
Well, let's see. I do have an article. I just found it right before we started. And this is from the NewYorkTimes.com. This was published.
New York Times fake fucking news.
Who knows? This was published May 5th, updated today. Trump eyes new tax cuts for new stimulus package.
Right.
The Trump administration is considering the wide range of tax cut proposals for businesses and investors in the next coronavirus response bill as it tries to shift from government spending programs to support the economy towards measures that aim to reinvigorate growth. The list of ideas under discussion include a reduction in the capital gains tax rate and measures that would allow companies to deduct the full cost of any investments that they make now or in the future, according to the administration officials and several outside experts who have discussed plans with the White House. These proposals, which are still being debated and are not final, what you said they could be final as of Tuesday, depending, could accompany President Trump's top priorities for the next rescue package: the suspension of payroll taxes for workers and an expended deduction for corporate spending on meals and entertainment. Mr. Trump and his aides are also planning to push lawmakers to approve legal liability limits for businesses that operate during the pandemic, a top priority of businesses lobbying groups in Washington and Senate Mitch McConnell, Republican of Kentucky and the majority leader. Some of the administration's proposals have been disclosed publicly by officials, while others have been discussed internally and with outside advisors. The president mentioned several of them, including a possible elimination of all capital gain taxes in a Twitter post on Tuesday afternoon, which also attacked Democrats' push to send aid to cities and state governments.
Which means that which means it'll go directly to businesses and stuff instead of the states to build the bankruptcy of what the state owes. Like if the state's going bankrupt, it's not supposed to go to the state, it's supposed to go to the business pretty much. That's what that.
Well, here's a question for you. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name in the YouTube chat there, man. Let's just say Bro. Your last part of your name is Bro. So he asked, wait, so they wouldn't take taxes out of our paychecks?
That's what it's coming to sound like, that there'll be more tax cuts to save people from. I mean, think about it. Food has gone up. Everything has gone up. Eggs have gone up. Cheese has gone up. Bread's going up. And meat's going up. So people are going to need a little more money. So what's the way to do it? Is cut taxes. They've got to. And even right now, even the Democrats and stuff are trying to push the mortgage and rent cancellations for right now because of the people that are running out of money from the first stimulus. They're trying to get that passed too. Yep. And so this next stimulus bill, this next big thing, which is a huge bill that's coming up, and it's the Congress, the House of Representatives. I don't know which one the Democrats control. I think the House is trying to has already said, hey, look, this is what we want. And it's pretty much that's where everybody's fighting about right now. And it really shouldn't be a fight. In which those sides are actually kind of agreeing on certain things. Yes, let's give people money. They're agreeable on that. The only thing that they're fighting about is one side wants liability to cover the small businesses so that, small businesses don't get sued and shit for the workers that was there, and they sued the small businesses and shit if somebody gets sick. That's what the cause is about right now.
Okay.
And that's part of that.
Uh-oh. I was gonna say, did I lose you? Mike.
Hold on a minute.
What
was that?
I was gonna say you cut out there for a minute on that one part.
Yeah, I had a phone call. But,
damn it.
But yeah, so that's what's going on right now. Is that pretty much that it's an up in the air, but they do want to give people more stimulus. They want to get people more money. Now, how long is right now up in the air?
Yeah.
And how much? So
let's see.
I mean, right now I hear the word 2000. When? Don't know.
Probably starts in June or July, maybe. Well,
no, it's got to be sooner than that because if people is already running out of money in May.
Well, here's the thing. Half of America hasn't even got the first check yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just wondering if at all they'll probably do that. Like, okay, first half of America hasn't even got their first check yet. And like, well, let's push it out in July or something. Like, I hope they don't go that far with it. But knowing them, it's a possibility. Let's see. None of the plans are likely to find favor with congressional Democrats who are pushing instead of additional support for Americans who have lost their jobs as the pandemic plunges the country into recession and hundreds of billions of dollars in federal assistance are to struggling state and local governments to prevent layoffs. Of teachers, police officers, and other government workers. The administration's internal debates reflect a balancing act as the White House tries to continue helping businesses and individuals weather the recession while hoping that a gradual lift of state restrictions on economic activity will begin to restart growth, move to discussion in Congress away from additional spending programs and incentives for investment. Activist protests in state capitals in favor of reopening the economy and a growing backlash among congressional conservatives against a $3 trillion and growing tab for federal spending on economic assistance during a crisis have increased the pressure for Mr. Trump's base to shift the government focus, even as millions of Americans are applying for new unemployment benefits. There's a shit ton more going on here, but I don't want to.
Hold on a minute. I'll tell you.
I don't know if this is true, but I found this while looking something up while you guys were talking. But like I said, I don't know how true this is.
Okay.
I just sent it to the Discord.
Who controls the House? Senate majority Republican, House majority Democrat. That's possible. That looks like it's what, as of January 2019. Second.
Read where it says who controls the House in 2019.
That's what I'm looking at. Last year. The Senate majority was Republican, Houses.
Whoever controls it then controls it now.
Unless they were voted out.
What's that?
Oh, here's something for you. This is part of the article. So whoever Mr. Bayer is, and two Democratic counterparts in the Senate, Michael Bennet of Colorado and Jack Reed of Rhode Island, released a plan on Tuesday for a very different sort of economic response to the virus. It would tie enhanced unemployment benefits to economic conditions, phasing them down from the current benefit, which adds $600 per week for every unemployment check. Once the crisis abates and the unemployment rates begin to fall, if the rate stays near 10% for years to come, the benefits could last until as late as April 2022.
Okay, I got something up here on Google. Mike, want me to go ahead and read it? Okay, stimulus check round 2. What plans are under discussion? First round of Corona stimulus checks are started to be distributed in April. So we all know about that. The White House and Congress are still discussing a second round of payment. The IRS released date of the first round stimulus checks last Friday with $157.9 billion paid out to Americans and $88.1 million non-taxable stimulus checks. Big bold print. So far to help the individuals cope with the effects of the corona pandemic. A total of 150 million stimulus checks are still expected to be paid by the end of the program. So, there you go, Tim. With the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pushing for another $1 trillion to cover shortfalls of the budget across the states. So she's still trying to push, but here we go. Second stimulus checks are still being debated. What is yet to be decided is whether there will be a second round of stimulus checks, which we know there's going to be. At the present, there is no signed into law sending out a second stimulus check, but there has been a groundswell of opinion across the country that the first may not be sufficient. A further $484 billion corona relief bill was signed into law Thursday, the 30th of April. It was aimed at small businesses and did not contain any provision for second stimulus checks for individuals. Okay, that was pretty much that. Dems are pushing for more stimulus. We all know about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim Ryan, Representative Co. Kaheen with further 17 Democrat sponsors wants to give Americans 16 and older a $2,000 stimulus check for each month for the next 6 months. Okay. Kunis said as of the need for further stimulus checks. A one-time $1,200 check isn't going to cut it. We all know that. That's already we already know about that. Americans need sustained cash infusions for the duration of the crisis in order to come out of the other side alive, healthy, and ready to go back to work, which is true. Moreover, 62 members of the Congress have also signed a letter in favor of recurring monthly payments, seeing them as the most efficient mechanism for delivering economy relief for those at most risk at the crisis. Bernie Sanders is for this. Alexandria or Cortez, wherever that dumb heifer is also for it. But she's a little psychotic, so she don't know what the hell she wants. And Miss Harris, Kamala Harris, the other dumb fuck that ran for president from California. However, many Republican lawmakers are not keen to the idea, with Steve Scalise reported calling it a radical socialist idea. Well, we're already in a socialist fucking thing. Despite this petition from the Republicans, there are growing recognition from the former additional payments that will be necessary. Will be necessary. According to Mike Scurry, a lecturer in finance at the University of Texas, Austin, and manager director of the Center for Analytics, and you can see in comments that Huff still is likely to face headwinds in the Senate. There is an appetite to provide additional support. There are growing concerns about the price tag, he said. Donald Trump considering second stimulus checks. Very important. But he's also mentioned that, and also he did not rule out that he did not want it. He's somewhat keen to it. But again, what happens now? Okay, second stimulus checks, what happens now? For second to become reality, lawmakers from both sides of a political divide will need to come together to agree. But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. How these conversations expect to take place over the next few days will go determining whether there is a second stimulus check or not, and whether or not there may be reoccurring stimulus checks. Which, from my sources I've been reading on YouTube and all that, that there is, right now they're working on that. So, found 63% of Americans will require 63% of Americans will require a second stimulus check within the next 3 months. 63%, Mike.
Damn.
That's 63% of the economy.
And you said something about 75% earlier?
I said about 75%. I was pretty damn close, but I mean, you think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pushing for that second. I mean, people are saying, you know, I've been reading it, you know, the Emergency Money Act for the people. That's still, you know, a bill that was introduced last week. So, for a guarantee to 6 months or until employment returns to pre-COVID-19. So, pretty much what they're saying is you'd get $2,000 a month if they do pass it. You would get either $2,000 for 6 months or until it hits pre-COVID-19 level. And that could be a long time. What's your thoughts on that, guys and gals?
I mean, it is interesting. Something like that you really don't see on a lot on social media. Yeah, to
let me look on YouTube quick, because I can log on YouTube and see.
Yeah, because as far as I know, and I was telling Bane about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coworker of mine said that the ones that are getting right now the $2,000 a month checks are those in Canada, and they're getting those for I think the rest of the year. I can't remember what it was said. Now here, and I was telling my coworker was telling me we could get those checks, but with the state's starting to open up now and things looking like there could be a light at the end of the tunnel, it's a possibility we may not get those checks yet unless things were really, really bad. So it's like if every state was still shut down for now, and
I am sending videos into Discord. If you want to play some of them, they're about, some of them are 10 minutes long, some are not.
Hey everyone, Meet Kevin here, and I've got updates for you on the next stimulus package, and it looks like it's going to include stimulus checks as well. I'm going to give you a full breakdown of everything I know. I spent the last 3 hours researching everything I could possibly figure out about this next bill.
Why does he look like I want to punch him in the face?
Anytime there are whispers in Congress that,
Because
oh yeah,
he's
we're ready to
analyzed.
submit the next, the next big
Hey Mike,
bill.
read the thing
I'm
I
talking
sent to
the next
Discord.
real
Oh, the one about the 116th United States Congress?
Keep reading.
Is current meeting in the legislation branch of the United States federal government, composed of the Senate and the House representatives. It convened in D.C. On January 3rd, 2019, and will end January 3rd, 2021, during the third and fourth years of presidency of Donald Trump. Senators elected to regular terms in 2014 are finishing their terms in this Congress, and House seats were portioned on the 20. Okay.
So there's your answer with the representatives. So
I guess.
think about it. What are the top main ones that always get into them houses?
Democrats.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the House is being ran by the Democrats right now.
There's your answer.
But if they want to give us more money, I'll just put another video down there too, Mike.
Yeah. They're both, let's see, the first one's like 10 minutes long. This one's...
Hey everyone, Kevin here. A couple quick updates regarding the next stimulus package. Nancy Pelosi just held a press conference, which even if you don't like Democrats, even if you don't like Nancy Pelosi, or you are a Democrat like her, this is good information to have, because she talked about Jerome Powell, and specifically, this is one of the first times we're hearing it directly from her, what she says regarding stimulus and the possibility of more stimulus checks. So first, let me talk about Powell and what she said here. Remember, Powell, Jay Powell, Jerome Powell.
I was going to say Colin Powell.
Printer, okay? He's the dude that's in control of the Federal Reserve Central Bank. Last week, I analyzed 2 to 3 different Federal Reserve bankers, and we found that all of them were saying, hey, we need more stimulus from Congress. There's only so much we as central bankers can do. We can only drop interest rates so low. We can only support credit markets so much. We can only provide so much lending. We don't spend, we only lend. And that's what the Federal Reserve told us last week, and that's what they've been echoing this week. Well, this is Congress's point of view. Congress, Nancy Pelosi said, quote, Powell said it again and again. Think big. Interest rates are very low. Think big. That's a word-for-word quote from Pelosi, presumably a conversation that the Federal Reserve must have had with Congress, or however she deduced this. That's good that Congress is walking away with this if you're looking for more stimulus. That's really good. Now, what does she mean when she thinks more stimulus? Well, here's the big one. There are 3 big things Nancy Pelosi says she has to have in the next bill, which this is good, because that's, if those are going to be big hard stops for her, then that's good for you if you're a recipient of this. Now, obviously, they're going to have to go through a negotiation with the Republicans, but these were her 3 big things. Number 1, testing, tracing, and treatment. So more money for scientific-based testing, tracing, and treatment. Also wants more equality amongst testing for minorities and trying to eliminate any kind of racial disparity. Then she wants more funding for the SNAP program, which, you know how I've been running this fundraiser on all my videos for donating money for, the No Hungry Children nonprofit? Well, that's because I have 2 children and I absolutely can't stand the thought at children not having enough food. Well, Nancy Pelosi seems to also see this, and I'm not trying to align myself with her.
Has he made the good points yet, Mike?
Don't think that because I'm donating to a nonprofit that's giving food to children, I am somehow politically aligned. Okay? No, but
I mean, are you understanding what he's saying, though?
She wants to do.
I'm trying to, without thinking about wanting to take a shit on his face.
Without taking a shit on his
Beat Kevin. That's a chance.
Yeah, when like on weekdays he will update of what's going on to the House Representatives and the Senate with the stuff that's going on.
I guess depends on it's. I mean, then again, you ain't going to see this kind of stuff on social media. I mean,
you're not.
They censor the shit.
Most of it. Mm-hmm.
They put out their own propaganda on the Facebook and Twitter. They put their own propaganda out there filled with lies and shit. And then you got other stuff that is like hidden. That's like with the whole virus outbreak. And I've even heard, and I've said it to people. Doctors have come out and said that it's not as bad as everybody's saying it is. Like even with the hospitals are not as crowded or doing badly, like everybody's, making it out to be. So yeah, I mean, it's
like I read the article. It's pretty much describing what he's saying in his videos. I mean, you have to go through a couple of his videos that talk about the stimulus. All that's not stimulus. It also gets into real estate properties and shit like that. But
yeah,
if you take the grain of sand of what it's saying and what the article I was just reading, plus that what he's saying, there's going to be a second stimulus regardless. Like 63% of Americans need another money, more money.
Yeah, because the last time we had a Great Recession was in 1929. Lasted for about 10 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's going to be a recession, but here's the thing. It's not going to be in our generation. Yeah, it might go down the road 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road, but eventually everything will go, you're going to hit a recession regardless. Because you're using so much money, yes, we're in debt, but the thing about it, here's what could get us out of debt. Now, I thought about this too. We owe China money.
Really now?
Yes. In a way, yes, from back when Obama was in office.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, we owe them from when we was in that little crisis back in 2008 when the stock market almost crashed the second time. So technically this would be the third time. But remember when we had that in 2007, 2008, around that time, Mike?
Oh, yeah, the one I didn't fucking get.
Yeah, the one that you didn't fucking get. That was kind of a recession, too, when we went over the bomb fucking Iraq and all them for no fucking reason. That almost made the stock market crash.
I heard about that, yeah, because they said something about the housing market back then.
Yep, and the housing market is in crisis right now.
Yep. I do remember hearing about that.
Mm-hmm, and it's back in the same place right now as it is.
100 million year old spider with scorpion's tail found in amber. Fuck you, Sting. But yeah, that is pretty crazy with all that.
I mean, Mel, what's your intake on it?
I'm a happy little camper now that the state parks are open, and I got a stimulus, so I'm good.
I mean, what is your thoughts about the second stimulus check and stuff like that? Do you think? I mean, what's your opinions?
I don't see it happening, but if it does, good. It's more money for me to.
Yeah, I can actually get my bills paid off. What the fuck? I have questions.
All right, who's got a question?
What I'm about to put in Discord. Oh shit. That's a good moving day right there.
Yeah, that'll pay off for that house loan too.
Yep. Let's see, part 1. This is from Maryland. Superintendent Dr. Salmon lays out Maryland's recovery plan of education. Yeah, schools are closed for the rest
They
of the
won't
academic
open until
year.
next year, probably.
Well, schools are closed for the rest of the academic year up here.
Yeah, they're opening up in December.
That's if they don't have a round 2.
Well,
I don't
And they
care.
are saying there is going to be a round
honestly
2 of
like
this.
it. My
Mhm.
daughter is actually being taught on a 3rd grade level, and she's only 4.
Yeah. I mean, think about it for a moment, folks. I mean, yeah, jobs are going to be needed afterwards. Now, I'd rather hear somebody bitch about the fucking job.
I don't know.
You know?
Well, moving on from the Stim bag. I mean, that is good news. Hopefully, it is actual true news from that guy that reported it. Hopefully, we will get a Stim check, another one that'll last. Because, like I said, I got debt to pay off and money to save.
Well, eventually, Mike, if you think about it, it's got to happen. It's got to. So, I mean, there is no cover up. I mean, you can't just brush it underneath the rug.
Yeah,
40 million Americans about to be unemployed by August.
Let's see. So I was over here on Twitter, Twatter, and they got something trending. I don't know what the hell this joke is all about. We got Al Kim X and Martin Luther Kim. I don't know if they're talking about Kim Jong Un or what.
He's alive.
Yeah, I know.
And what?
Everybody thought he was fucking dead as shit and all.
I'm pretty sure that he'll be dead one day.
Yep. Because I was trying to look up news on what's his name from Bad Company. He died.
Yeah.
Oh, what was his name? Did I share it on Facebook? I think. Maybe. Don't know. Nope. Alright. Alright, so let me look that up here.
Oh, and Axl Rose is now putting his 2 cents in fucking politics.
Oh, of course he is.
That fucking retard don't even know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses long ago.
Yeah. And AC/DC tried to fix that fucking group. Thank God they kicked his ass out.
Yeah, now. Let's see, who was it? This Brian Howe, I think it is. Yeah, Brian Howe.
Yeah. He was 63, 66?
66.
Yeah.
Yet best known for replacing Paul Rogers as the lead vocalist for the band Bad Company. Passed away today. Where is the... okay, he died of cardiac arrest while en route to a hospital in Florida. He had a history of heart illnesses, including a heart attack in 2017. So if anybody asks, it was not Corona.
It's not Corona related.
It's not Corona, people. He did, what was this? 5 albums with Bad Company, all since '86. Did he write any songs that I know? Then again, Bad Company songs I probably heard all in the '70s. Shake It Up, don't even, I thought, no, that was a different. No, he was just the second singer for him. I didn't hear really anything. Just the guy who replaced Paul Rogers.
Yeah, he was the guy that played Bad Company.
Yeah. I remember. Okay, Paul Rogers, he's 70 years old now. I guess that's all I have to say about that. I mean, we did cover the stimulus tonight, what you wanted to talk about and all. Ain't a whole lot what I gotta talk about either, so I guess we can go out.
Damn, tonight was a short stream.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know why you're shorting the stream of you little shithead.
What with the Hornet thing going around?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's bring that up too, because there's a lot of hoaxes about that.
Actually,
shit.
we can make jokes of that. We'll save that for Sunday. We can.
You want to make that? You want to make that a URC?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, we've already done 2 Sundays of nostalgia stuff, so we could talk about the Hornet thing Sunday and add some more nostalgic stuff to it.
All right.
We'll say that for
that's
Sunday.
Actually back in the '90s too.
We got to get Tom in for this. We got to get a hold of Tom. That way, Tom can put his input in on it too.
Yeah, Tom, you're supposed to be here today, Tom. I mean, you're fired, Tom. You fucker.
Anyway, y'all, thank you for joining us tonight for this podcast, for tuning live. Thank you to our listeners out there on YouTube. Be sure to give us a subscribe, follow, whatever you do out there. I forget. I don't even follow YouTube shit anymore. it's too confusing.
Yeah, right.
Also, if you're watching us live on mixer.com/arrow with a name and twitch.tv/arrow with a name, be sure to follow us on there. Also, give us a like, give us a follow on social media, on Twitter at arrow WAN 2020. Also follow us on facebook.com/arrow encoded. Thank you, Tim, for being here tonight. Give him a follow on YouTube. Dragon Tim 33, he streams on YouTube. Also, twitch.tv/Dragon Tim 33. And also, don't miss Mike when he goes live on twitch.tv/The Empire 495. Definitely,
yes,
yeah.
and I'm also, hold on a second. Plus, also, I'm hoping to get back on Call of Duty Modern Warfare since my Fisher Price internet's back up and running pretty good. And I updated the fucking update on the game, so it's finally ready to roll.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the stream. Anytime there, bro, over there on YouTube. Thanks for coming in and checking it out, man. Tomorrow, hopefully, my buddy Jeff is going live on his channel, Jeff Haggy Show. Follow him there. I'll be over there in the chat section checking out what's going on then. You guys have a good night. We will catch you back here Sunday for utter random crap. Don't miss out on that. We're going to talk about the Hornets, the murder Hornets. Hopefully, Tom will be there. Hopefully, he won't fall asleep and miss out on this one again. Any last words,
He's
Mike?
fired if he hears this.
You got any last words, Mike?
Yeah, actually, I do. I want to say thank you for all the people that are out there on front lines with this COVID-19 bullshit going on. I want to thank the military, the police, the nurses, the fire department, military, the people that are out there that are on the front lines of this whole mess. I mean, yeah, it's rough right now, but, we thank you for all y'all do. All the essential workers, thank you again. So,
The rest of y'all, be safe out there. Have a good night. Catch you all Sunday.